I greet you in Jesus' precious name. I want to speak to you about a thorny subject today. Don't blame God. Don't blame God. Don't blame God. And we're very quick at doing that, aren't we? I know I am. Something doesn't go wrong. Oh, it's the Lord. The Lord's done this. Why have you done this to me, Lord? You know, I've been tithing and I've been giving to the church and to the poor, and now I've got no money. It must be you, Lord. No, it's not the Lord. Because the Lord says, I'll never leave you and I'll never forsake you. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. I want to read a couple of scriptures to you from Job chapter 38. You know, Job was a farmer, just like me. And Job went through a rough time, very rough time. He lost everything. He lost his farm, he lost his family, he lost his self-dignity. He was a laughing stock in the village. He sat on an ash heap. He was covered in boils from head to the tip of his toes. His wife even said to him, why do you worry? Why don't you just curse God and die? His own wife said that. And what did he say? He said, even though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Job chapter 13 and verse 15. We mustn't blame God for everything that goes wrong in our lives. That's not owning up to it. That's not being upstanding. We must say that even though he slay me, yet will I trust him. We must be able to say his grace is sufficient for me. His strength is made perfect through my weakness. So when I'm weak, then I'm strong. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 9 and 10. I want to just read a couple of scriptures, which is very interesting. You see, this Lord that you and I are talking about, do you know who he is? See, I think the problem is a lot with us preachers. We don't tell you the whole truth. He's not your mate. He's not your friend or the big man in the sky or your whatever they say. No, he's God. He said one word and everything that you see came into being. How can you try and equate yourself with God? You are a creation. How can the pot talk to the potter? So we're going to go to the book of Job. They say it's the oldest book in the Bible, chapter 38. And we're going to see what the Lord says to Job. So this time, instead of us always complaining to God, God is actually going to do a bit of complaining to us, to you and me. And he's going to ask us a few questions. Job chapter 38. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, who is this who darkens counsel by words without knowledge? Now prepare yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. That's right. And I want to say to you, my dear friend, if you listen carefully, this will set you free. Because you've got a mindset that it's all because of God that things are going wrong. That's not the truth. And if you are honest with yourself, and if I'm honest with myself, the buck stops right with me. Absolutely. You can either work against God or you can work with God. Now the Lord said to Job, where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Verse 4. Tell me if you have understanding. He says in verse 5, who determined its measurements? Surely you know. The Lord's been a bit sarcastic there. Because you know everything. So can you tell me that? Or who stretched the line, the measuring line upon it? To what were its foundations fastened? I'll stop there. I want to say to you, my dear friend, we don't know. Not even Einstein knows. No one knows. They think they know, but they don't know. You see, God said one word and everything came into being. When the Lord reasoned with Job the farmer and Job repented, God gave him back everything he lost 100-fold. He'll do the same for you if you stop complaining. Goodbye.